Hey guys, I'm going to explain if you have this type of ornament, you want to do the magazine ornament that's a little bit thicker. It's similar to the paper quilling, but just very subtle, different steps. So you're going to start with strips of newspaper or magazine that are about 1.5 to 2 inches thick. And the first step is you just want to fold that. Here, I'll angle this down a little bit. You want to fold this in half. And again, you can choose paper that's colorful if you want to go with a certain color scheme. Newspaper does work for this too if you wanted to go with something more monochromatic. So once that's folded in half, you're going to take the outside edge and fold that to that middle seam on both sides. If you want to make an ornament that's a little bit taller, start with strips that are about 3 inches or maybe even 4 inches, because you're going to fold it down to 1/4 of that size. So once you have those two edges folded into the middle, so it reads like a shutter, you're going to fold those two outer edges in. So that way you end up with a strip that's only about 1/4 of the size that it starts. And then you add some glue. Elmer's glue works great. It just inside that seam the whole way down. It's okay to have excess because it kind of seals in some of those other edges. So once I take this, I'm going to fold that glue in there. If any glue kind of seeps out, I can just use, it's almost like a paper mache technique where you take that excess glue and cover those outer edges as well. You always start, once you have your strips made, you're going to start with your inside shapes first. So if I were to do the star, I would do the circle. If I were to do the tree, I would do the 3 circles that are in the middle. And it's the same technique you use with the toothpick and paper quilling, where you start to wrap that magazine around in a tight coil. If you need something a little bit larger, you would actually just glue 2 strips together at the end where they meet and then keep coiling that way. And you want to try to make this as even as possible. You can kind of reshape with your hands as you're working. And then just add glue at the very end to keep it locked in place. Okay, if I wanted to do, say I'm going to do that tiny Christmas, I'm going to do a tinier version of this Christmas tree. Essentially what I will do is I'm going to take 2 of those center coils and I'm just going to glue anything that touches together. Maybe make a tiny, tiny snowman. And then I'd let that sit to dry, okay? The other thing that you can do are other shapes similar to the paper quilling. So once I finish this, I would do my smaller circles and then I would have a teardrop shape. My last step is to go around the outer edge with the strip to finally seal that in. And if you notice, it's also a different color to kind of make that stand out as well.